Now the Supernerd summer preview.
Yeah, I like the title.
Yeah. I'm good. I come up with good titles occasionally. Well, we got some good ones. I'm proud of this one.
Should we
Um,
have a slight tweak?
Go on.
You should have done Super Nerd Summer Selection.
Oh, that's so much better. So I was sat here as I'm looking at this week, and I'm like, oh, there's not a lot of content this week. We've had to go
Yes.
for a dry spell. I'm like,
No.
surely not. This summer's supposed to be jam packed, isn't it?
Well, you're not wrong.
I start doing my googling, and I'm like, okay, cool, we're good. This is just a quiet week. The quiet before the storm.
Oh, mate.
So, films this summer.
Yes.
Just this summer, there is no film that I'm about to list that comes out like any later than August 18th.
Okay.
That's how jam packed this summer is.
Okay. That is a lot.
Yeah. So we start in 2 weeks with Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The end of James Gunn's work in the MCU before he goes full time over to DC. The end of the Guardians trilogy.
Yep.
And the end of, I think, a big portion of the MCU in the sense of Guardians proved that you can make cult heroes out of nothing characters.
Yes.
And now these characters some of like pop culture's favorite. You can go around the world and you will find a child with an I Am Groot t-shirt.
Yeah.
And before Guardians, I mean, when Guardians of the Galaxy came out, was announced, people were declaring the MCU was dead in the water because they're having to rely on D-list characters who no one even knows about.
Yeah, here we are.
Then we move on to Across the Spider-Verse.
Yes.
The sequel to quite possibly the greatest piece of Spider-Man media of all time.
Soon to be dethroned by its successor.
Yes. The animation is second to none. The care and detail in every element of the first film was phenomenal. It had one of my favourite cinema scenes of all time in the Ascension scene, where Miles takes his first leap of faith off the building and they invert it, so instead of it look like him falling, it looks like him rising to the challenge. The beauty of that film is something to behold. And they've gone, wait, we've got more for you. In fact, we've got so much more for you. This is only part 1 and there will be a part 2. It's going to be phenomenal.
It really is.
And I cannot wait. Then we get the first Transformer film I've actually been intrigued by the trailer for in a number of years. In Transformers Rise of the Beast.
Yeah.
The other trailers after, the third one was the last one Shia LaBeouf was in, I think. I think there's been 3 since. I just kind of never paid any attention to him. I was like, I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, I think I watched the 4th one and kind of lost the taste
Dark Side of the
for it.
Moon.
Yeah, and then lost taste.
I think they packed him in a bit too tight. And the problem with Transformers at that time for me was it's just Autobots versus Decepticons over and over and over again, instead of like there being different parts of it. But they managed to bring it back a little bit with the Beasts, which seemed to be another subset where it seems like the Autobots and the Decepticons might have to work together a little bit. It looks interesting. It looks really well put together. It looks like we've got some new characters. It's interesting. We might not even have time to go see it, but it looks interesting.
It does look interesting.
Then we get what could make or break my summer. The Flash.
The long awaited.
Long awaited. Many controversies in the build-up. There will be many controversies around it, I'm sure.
Yeah, there will.
But my God, all I've seen of people who've got early access, sneak peeks and everything is that it could be one of the best films made in the superhero comic booky world. It looks stunning in the trailers. We get Michael Keaton returning as Batman. We've got Ezra Miller's Flash. We've got Supergirl. It could be something that reignites the love for comic book media and ends the superhero fatigue.
It could.
Followed swiftly by something I never thought we'd get.
Yeah.
In Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. This will be the fifth Indiana Jones film. And by the sounds of it, they're trying to make big leaps in technology by having large portions of the film done using the de-aging technology. We've seen it used a couple of times in films for just scenes here or there. By the sounds of it, there's like a
Mhm.
decent amount of this film using the de-aging technology on Harrison Ford.
It's going to be interesting.
If they've done it right, it could be a big breakthrough in cinema going forward. But it could also fall flat on its face and somehow be seen as worse than the Crystal
Yeah.
Skull.
Oh, phew. Yeah. I think it's a bold, depending on what the story is, because we don't really know much, but like it's bold to try and
But
lean so heavily on
yeah,
de-aging.
I think based on what we know, they're setting this up as a passing of the torch film, so that
Mm,
there's going to be more films in this universe afterwards, but not with Indiana Jones as the main character.
yeah, they're trying to come up with the right way to be able to continue the
Yes,
franchise without him.
because they tried to do it at the end of Crystal Skull with Shia LaBeouf's character,
Yes, they did.
but then he went a bit off the He went a bit off the range. The film wasn't well received, so they kind of sidelined it for a while. I would love Indiana Jones to make a comeback because I love them. I love the first three films growing up. They're still some of my favorite films. So if we can get Indiana Jones as a franchise back at the peak of its power, it's gonna really, really boost my summer.
Here's the thing as well now, thinking about it. Like, personally, I think Shia LaBeouf is in a much better place and a much better actor now. Like, would be kind of cool if he made an appearance in this and it was like that second chance to
Yeah,
pass it on.
a bit of a redemption arc for Shia LaBeouf.
Yeah.
Then we get a film that I'm really intrigued in for
Hmm.
one reason: the fact that it's labeled as Part One.
I'm
Mission
more.
Impossible: Dead Reckoning.
Yeah, I'm just impressed that they've still got this franchise going.
It's interesting because when I was a bit younger, I hated Mission Impossible because it felt like they're beating a dead horse. And
When
then
you were younger.
Fast and Furious
Oh,
managed to beat their horse more dead. And then you've got all these other long running franchises that have popped up around Mission Impossible. And instead of just like trying to make their money, Mission Impossible did genuinely go out and improve their films.
yeah,
They've got
they did.
they've got actors of pedigree instead of them just being 2 hour action flicks. They tried to add a bit to them. And it don't get me wrong, they are still action flicks, but they've given them a bit more substance.
Yeah, I mean, it. I'm surprised Mission Impossible is still going, but it'd be interesting to see what it's like.
Yeah. And I'm really, really curious to see if this is genuinely going to be an end for the Mission
Possibly,
Impossible franchise, or if part one and part two are going to set up Tom Cruise's successor.
possibly.
And over the next few films, he is going to slowly take step backs so that then a new person
I
can take over from Ethan Hunt.
honestly, I think I'd prefer seeing it be the end, but we'll see.
When has Hollywood ever cared what
I
we
know.
prefer? Then we get something that kind of crept up out of nowhere,
Yeah,
but
just
I'm very, very excited for.
just appeared out of nowhere and everyone's very hyped
Hmm
for.
The animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film.
Yes.
We've got four young actors voicing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, who some of them have a load of experience as kids, and
Mm-hmm.
some of them have very little experience.
Yep.
In the trailer we got, their chemistry seems to be phenomenal. We've got Seth Rogen's voice acting, and Seth Rogen to me has proved that he is a phenomenal voice actor,
Mm-hmm.
being one of the only highlights for me in the Mario movie. Um, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think, is in every young person's heart in quite
Yep.
a important way. If they've done this right,
Well, don't forget
it's going to be phenomenal.
they've also got Jackie Chan. who is also
Of
someone
course,
in a lot of our hearts from when we were younger, from his films
this
and from the animated Jackie Chan
yeah, this
show.
film has everything it needs on paper to be a roaring success.
It really does. I'm
Um,
very, very excited for this film.
I really hope it can deliver on what is
Mhm.
being teased of its potential.
I do think it will, and I think it will be a strong. It's going to put us in a tough spot of which is the best animated
Yes,
between that and Spider Verse.
yeah. Um, and then we get again another thing that I've been excited for a long time, and I
Mm.
really hope it can deliver. There is a number of opportunities for me to be genuinely heartbroken this summer,
Yeah.
and Blue Beetle also has the ability to break my heart this summer. It looks good. We've seen the trailer.
Hmm.
It looks like one of the best costumes we've seen in a superhero film in a while. It has the ability to pull off a Guardians of the Galaxy like heist and go, here's a
Yes.
character you don't really know about. Boom, now you're in love with them.
I
But is it
just,
all going to be for naught
yeah.
in James Gunn's new DCU?
And do you know what's going to be, in a way, more painful? It's like these are going to be great, and if they're both really great films, but then they're not going to continue forward.
You think that would hurt more?
I think for Blue Beetle, Flash is kind of a bit of a redemption for the DCU way to end if it's great. For Blue
Yeah,
Beetle, it kind of feels like this is a great character everybody loves. Shame it's not carried on, but I suppose maybe then it opens James Gunn's eyes to maybe we use this character in the future then because everyone loved it so much. I think what's going to be worse is if both these films are great, what I think is going to happen is everyone's going to be like, oh shit, DCU kind of ended on a high. And then it's going to end with Aquaman 2, which is going to absolutely flop, and everyone's going to go, there's DCU.
yeah,
That's why we've moved on.
yeah, quite possibly. And that's just the films. We've still
Yeah,
got
that was
TV
just
stuff coming out
films.
this summer. Secret Invasion,
Mm-hmm.
bit of espionage,
Mm,
a very different tone from what we've had recently in the MCU. I'm hoping we get a Captain America Winter Soldier type tone. One of my favorite MCU film.
quite possibly.
And if we can hit that level, oh my god, what a show it's going to be! And it
Uh,
has such a phenomenal opportunity to hit that.
it really does, and it has the opportunity to really kind of blow everyone's minds on what's been going on in MCU
Yeah,
and kind of blow open the doors on things.
indeed. Um, The Witcher season 3 is coming out this summer, which is going to be Henry
Oh,
Cavill's last run out, isn't it?
it is. I, I don't know. I worry. Isn't well? Hang on. Isn't season? No, season 3 is this final one, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or did they swap the torch for season 3?
I thought he'd already filmed season 3.
Now I'm questioning myself. I think you're right, but yeah, Will.
Yeah, this
Um,
is last season. Season
so
4 is going to be Liam Hemsworth.
I think I think it'll be good because it's Henry Cavill and he'll have been able to put pressure on things to be done right. But I think going off season 2, I worry that it will stray further away from what is Witcher by the books and the reason that Henry ended up leaving. And that's my worry with it. Is like, although Henry will be great, I think the story might start to stray too far and we'll start to see the cracks in that show. Um, but yeah, be interesting to see his final season playing The
Yeah.
Witcher.
Then we've got a show I
I
know we're both very hyped for.
yes, 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 yes,
Ahsoka,
yes.
rounding out the summer,
Oh,
taking us into the winter or the autumn rather.
it
It is
honestly
starting in the summer, so I'm including it.
can't come soon enough. I'm so excited
I
for
am
Ahsoka.
so ready. I'm glad it's just a little bit far away so that I can grind
Yeah,
Rebels and get it done in time.
yeah, you need to get caught
But
up.
I'm enjoying Rebels. And I'm hoping that I won't finish. I'm trying to not get through it too fast because I don't want to finish it and then have to wait another 2 months for Ahsoka.
Yeah, I get you.
I'm trying to find that right like pacing for it, but you know what it's like with me and TV
Hmm.
shows when I'm really enjoying a show. Um,
Just know that if you do finish it quick, you then have all that time in between to go and find out all the connections that have been made
yes,
and
true.
catch up on
Go
all
back
that
and
stuff.
rewatch all of Filoni's live action stuff to
Yeah,
go. Oh, I can't believe I never noticed that.
yeah.
Um, and then there is still a chance that one of Echo or
Mm,
Loki season 2 could start by the end of the summer. Neither of
yeah.
them have been given official dates yet, but they are still both technically slated for summer 23. Now,
I
I think only one of them is going to get out because they're not going to have two
yeah.
shows going on at the same time.
I
But
think
I'd
it's
be surprised if one of them doesn't get to start before the end of the summer.
I think purely off the fact that we've had some small teasers for it, Loki is more likely to come out.
I agree.
Um,
But it
more
could
of
be
that
very
has been
exciting.
filmed and done, as far as we're aware. So
Yeah,
I think Loki has a chance to start before the end of the summer.
so do I. But that I mean, that's crazy. We're talking what? So
So
the first one's in 2 weeks, and then the end of it will be at the end of the 8th month of August. So over 3 months, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 films, 3 TV shows, maybe 4 TV shows.
yeah, we're looking at like essentially 2 films a month and at least a show a month.
Mm-hmm.
So
So everyone, I hope you are ready to spend a lot of money on popcorn and cinema tickets. I hope you're ready to degen in bed watching the latest episode of whatever show is out
yes.
because we are eating good this summer.
Oh, we really are.
Um,
There's a lot
the nerd summer body is ready.
going. The popcorn
Um,
body.
yeah, I cannot wait for it. Um, it's going to be really good. It's like even if only half of this content lives up to its
Oh yeah, I
potential,
mean,
it's going to
as
be great.
if half of those films are great, we're doing well. Um, there's definitely going to be some flops in there, I think.
Yeah,
And with TV shows, there's definitely going to be a couple of shows that are more well received than others.
yeah,
But we can't complain. We're getting a lot
exactly.
of Marvel, we're getting a lot of DC, we're getting a lot of Star Wars, plus all the extra stuff. So
And with the superhero fatigue that is here, this probably
mm,
be the last summer we have for a while that is this jam packed.
yes, I do think going forward we're going to start to see this stuff spaced out more.
I think this is like one last hurrah for the people who will turn up and watch everything.
Yeah,
Um, because we're gonna have bigger gaps coming up soon.
I agree. I agree.
Um,